Well, folks, here we go again. Back for another week of What a Load of Bulls. DJ Dilworth, Simon Little, and the Bulls Academy. Simon, how's your week been, buddy?
Yeah, it's been good. Back for another week, DJ. This week has been pretty eventful. I played in that graded Pearse tournament with my mum at Taren Point, which was a really good day on the green. We managed to come away with 3 wins, 1 defeat. Sadly, didn't make the top 4, which was the prize money. But we had a good day playing together, and my mum really enjoyed playing on the lush greens at Taren Point compared to those greens back home in Ireland. So she had a great day.
Yeah, nice.
And we also made a little trip to Hobart with Ellie. That was our first trip on a plane. So
nice.
Yeah, that went okay. So yeah,
good.
First trip on a plane, first trip on a boat, first trip on a bus. It was an eventful weekend, DJ.
Yep, so mum's enjoying her time out here, mate?
Yeah, loving it. It'll be a hard goodbye this weekend. So, but yeah.
Yeah, not for you, but not towards you, towards Ellie, maybe. But
not towards me. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's it.
She'll not even see you at the airport, mate. It'll just be the little one.
No, that's it.
Any plans to go over?
I think we're going to make a trip back to the UK next year. One of my good friends back home is getting married, so we'll be going back for that wedding next year.
Nice. Busy week here too, mate. I've actually just got back in the door from Club Belrose. I was down at the, taking on one of our teams down to the Division 3 men's pennants. So a good shout out to Club Belrose. Put on a good show. Crowe, President Andy, and then Steve in the Bulls office and all their volunteers. Yeah, it's always good when you go to a club like that and you're well looked after, mate. And the greens, I didn't get to play on the greens, but they looked awesome. So yeah, well done to Club Belrose. It was nice to be there. First time there.
Yeah, how did your guys go?
Yeah, we'll not talk about that. Some of them listen to the podcast, so I'm not going to be brutally honest this time.
Okay,
I think they heard enough of me in the last 2 days.
Look forward to next year. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But no, the guys at Belrose are always really welcoming there, and yeah, it's a great club, great setup there.
Nice, yeah, they definitely looked after us. So, bit of a different tack this week, mate.
Yeah, so in between you're managing the guys down at Belrose, you managed this week, DJ, to catch up with our first special guest.
Sure did. Mr. Ray Pearse was kind enough to give up some of his time. And sat down, had a bit of a chat with Ray.
Yep. So what we might do, DJ, we'll just transition into that interview you did with Ray. And yeah, we'll see what you managed to uncover and some secrets that Ray might have for all our bowlers out there.
Sounds good, mate. Let it roll.
All right, folks, welcome to the What a Load of Bulls podcast. We've got our first player interview here. This player here, Australia cap number 141, over 100 Australia caps, over 150 New South Wales caps, 6 Australia titles, 9 New South Wales titles and counting, numerous zone titles, of course, the recent 1 world title, and he's the current Taren Point Bulls manager and coach. Welcome, Ray Pearse. How you going, buddy?
Hey DJ, how are you, buddy? Thank you for the invite, for starters, to have me on, and you boys are doing a great job.
No, thanks, mate. Appreciate it. It's good to have you here, mate. Try to get as many of these in as we can to keep the people interested. So, no, appreciate you giving up the time to do it, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, mate. So we'll go back to the beginning of Ray Pearse. So, where did it all start for you, mate? How did you get into the sport? Which club did you start at?
A long time ago now, it feels like 25 years ago, 99. At a little club called Alexandria, Erskineville. We were still playing footy, me and my brother at the time, and Mum said to come down and have a game of Twilight Bowls. And I still remember the first night because it was when the freak hailstorm come through the eastern suburbs. And I remember looking at the sky and it was green as, and like cricket ball size hailstones coming through the clubhouse at Erskineville. That was... Yeah, that's something I'll never forget. But yeah, 1999 at Alexandria Erskineville.
Very good, very good. So, mate, after a few years dabbling around it, what was your first real taste of success? When was it you realised, this is quite a good sport, actually, I could be good at this? What was the first thing that really gave you that taste for it?
I think the taste come for it after the grade 1 at Urco back in the day were qualifying for state finals, for 3 or 4 years in a row, and that kind of gave me a taste of, and got me a chance to meet, other elite players around the state. But when I first realised, I went okay at the game was winning my first state singles title against Tommy Allen. That was, and me and Ferret, we have become we were very good friends. I haven't spoken to Tommy for a little while yet, but yeah, that first state singles title. So okay, well, I could try and make something of this.
Yeah, very good, mate. Very good. First representative selection, and how did that make you feel? Did you play under 18s or anything like that, mate, or was it just zone level?
I did play under 18s. I played a couple of games under 25s when I was 22, 23. Got a chance to get a scholarship with the New South Wales Institute of Sport. I was a bit of a wild child back then and kind of ruined my chances for the under 25s, but come around 2012, I got picked to lead up for Aaron Sheriff in Victorian Test Series down in Wodonga, and all I remember was going, "Holy crap!" It's Aaron Sheriff. But selected 2012 down at Wodonga for a Victorian State Series.
Yeah, nice. All right, mate, so moving on a bit then. So you started at Alexander Erskineville. You were there for a lot of years, as you said, became part of the furniture. You won your first two state singles at the club. During that time, mate, did you get many approaches from some of the more marquee clubs at the time? And if so, what made you stay?
There wasn't a hell of a lot, only because I had a fair I would say a fair but a bad reputation when I was a kid growing up. But Cabramatta eventually got me with Claire Turley, Wayne Turley's better half, approached me along with Barry Watkins, who was the general manager at the time. I was in the Australian A squad back then. And Claire approached me to come to Cabramatta to work beside her in the office in the Bowls office, and I thought it was time. If I'm ever going to make the very top in the Australian squad, I've got to go to a bigger club where I'm surrounded by a lot better players and better resources as a club. So Claire Turley I can thank to get me to Cabramatta to Cabramatta.
Yeah, nice. Tough to leave the club, mate, after being there for so long, winning a couple of titles there, obviously playing with mates and stuff. Was it a tough call?
It was a tough call, and look, I still miss mates that are still at that club at the moment. But I knew that if I was to try and make a thing of it, I really had to make the move. And to be fair, the time at Cabramatta was very, very good for the 9 years that I was there. Yeah,
nice. So, just moving on from that, mate. So after a few more state titles individually there and a few state number ones with Cabramatta, you've moved back into Zone 12. Back into Zone 13 it is, with Taren Point. You started working outside, I believe, before moving into the coordinator or manager coach's job. How's that going for you now, mate, over at Taren Point?
Yeah, well, COVID hit and, Cabramatta, made most of their staff redundant. And not long after that, we got back. Chris Carina, reached out to join the Point, and at the time, the boys outside on the greens, needed a hand, and that's where I first started. So I felt quite comfortable outside on the greens with the boys, and eventually, when things kind of got back to normal, Chris needed a hand in the office, and then just become the head coach at Taren Point, and that's how it all started. At Taren Point.
Yeah, nice. Is there much difference in the cultures of the two clubs, would you say, mate? Has there been much of a change for you? Or?
Yes, I think so. Look, Cabramatta was a very, very professional club from top to bottom. But I think, and this is only my opinion, I probably, I'll get chased up for it, but I think, realising when I joined Taren Point, it had more of a, top to bottom culture. Basically, there wasn't too many cliques, or the elite were not standoffish to low grade bowlers and so forth. And Barry Watkins always taught me when I first joined Cabramatta was trying to get the floor closer to the ceiling. And when I walked into Taren Point, that was their culture, and for mine it still is today.
And I think, mate, what you're talking about there it's rife throughout the place. There's always the us and them mentality between the upper and lower grades at times. I mean, I find it at Milton City as well. It's tough, but it's good to hear you say that about Taren Point, because from the outside looking in, I've always had sort of an outside view of the club from being close with Simon, obviously, but Axe and that too. And then I had good friendship with Chrissy Green, John Green. When Turley was there, it was something that he built really, really well, I thought. And it's good to hear you actually say that it's still that way. And they are very, very close. You see them playing on those turnaround events where you have to play with the lower grade players, and it's good to see them doing that. So, it's good to hear, mate.
Yeah, now look, I've heard a lot of stories from Wayne Turley and Chris Green followed suit. as well. Look, I'm saying, I think we can do some things better. But I think overall, if I walk in and see a grade 6, grade 7 bowler, it's the same if I walk past Axe. Hello, shake hands, catch up. It's a close-knit club.
Yeah, no, it is. That's very good. All right, mate. We'll move on to the rep stuff. We sort of touched on it there, just at the start of things. But every player has those goals. They want to play higher honours, mate. Want to play state country. Your New South Wales debut, like you said, came in 2012. How was it when you found out that you were in? And how did you find out you were in? And were you maybe expecting the call up when you got to that level where you thought, I'm not far off here, I'm going to get it? Or was it a bit of a shock for you?
It was definitely a shock. There were some very, very good names in that New South Wales squad back then. So it's always a hard side to crack. But I do remember getting a phone call, and I didn't believe it. I thought it was a joke at first.
Yeah. It's a common theme.
Yeah. I didn't really know what to think of it until the Guernsey turned up. Once the Guernsey turned up, I knew it was a fair dinkum thing. So, but yeah, we travelled all the way down to Wodonga, and I remember just shaking like a leaf with my first test when I was leading up for Omar, and it was a test. It was very much a test, but something I'll never forget. Like he's someone that I've looked up to, even a young fella. So it was a little surreal leading up for him when I first started.
Yeah, right. So obviously you remember that first cap pretty well. I mean, what was the full rink that you played on, and who did you play against?
That's a great question. That is a very good question. I remember. I couldn't tell you who the other two players were, to be honest with you. It was it feels so long ago, but and I think I was so focused on just leading up for Omar.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tricky one. Thank you, DJ. Well done.
Yeah, good one. Well, you can go. You can think about that one and get back to me on that one, mate.
Yeah, I will.
All right, bit more current than me. So you've been a regular now for 12 years in the Blues setup. How has it changed over the years? And is there a certain group that you look back on and think, geez, that was a superstar side to be part of?
I think the culture or the competitiveness hasn't really changed. I think, in recent years, I think, because most of the boys are in the Australian Jackaroo squad, it's a professional outfit. But back in the day, it probably was a little bit more relaxed when I first got in there. But these days, the boys are, they're trained to the hill to be at their best every time they go out. And I think the current squad, it's probably a little bit more relaxed environment at present. But there was a lot of, high performance stuff that flowed down from the Australian into the New South Wales side. And that just got you in the right frame of mind. But yeah, it's a bloody good outfit to try and get into.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's certainly there's a few people banging on the door now, isn't there?
Well, actually, and the best rink that I think I've seen was Bousey, Wayne Turley, Terry Antrim, Aaron Sheriff.
Yeah, wow,
unbelievable record. Terry Antrim, he's a dead set legend of a bloke, but he's a dead set legend of a bowler too. And Matty Bouse is one of the best I've ever seen. Omar that I looked up to, and look, Wayne Turley speaks for himself as well. Is one of the best rinks you'll ever see.
Yeah, definitely. That's some heavy names you're dropping there. Eh?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, mate. So yourself, after banging on the door for so long, you get that first Jackaroos call up in 2015.
Yep.
How was that moment, mate, finding out that you would represent the country? And, did you feel it coming? Or, again, was it a bit of a shock?
We knew it was coming because, we got picked for the Asia-Pacific Games over in New Zealand. And, we did the old, cap presentation. I remember it in a park, Gary Willis handing over the cap. It was a great feeling. And I remember putting my first bowl down in the Asia-Pacific pairs with Nathan Rice. And as soon as I put that first bowl down, the whole Australian squad over the two greens that were out front in Burnside all gave us, oh, yeah, and all the claps and all the rest of it. So that was an awesome, 30 seconds after I put my first bowl down for Australia. It was a really, really good feeling.
You're officially a Jackaroo then. The first ball's going down. You're officially there.
100%.
So how does that work out too, mate? Is that a phone call? Is that a letter through the post? What is it?
I think it's changed over time. So it used to be a phone call saying congratulations. These days, I think they get a bit of a text message. Saying you're in, you're out. We'll follow up with this, or we don't. So, but that was a phone call and an email back then. I think they've tried to work on the communication side of things, but yeah, obviously reading that email and the phone call was something I've been dreaming to do for a long time.
Yeah, right. So, sort of similar question to earlier with the Blues, and you just touched on it there. Do you remember that first cap on a game? How did that game go? You were playing with Nathan Rice, did you say?
That was for Australia, yeah. That was for Australia. Yeah, we ended up getting the victory, which was good.
Nice.
I battled, like I won't lie, I battled that match, and Nathan Rice was just doing Nathan Rice things as he does. He's a bloody another superstar. But yeah, that was we got a victory that game.
Yeah, right, mate. So you've been in a few Jackaroo camps over the years. You know, once you guys get in there, you're the best of the best in Australia. You're battling out with each other for spots. You know, to go to Commonwealth Games and stuff like that. There, what's it like in camp with the players? Just talk me through a typical Jackaroo camp and what you guys all get up to. And is there is there a bit of needle in there sometimes? Because although you are all good mates and you are brought together to be a team, you're still competing for those top 5 spots at the end of the day, aren't you?
And everybody knows that, right? So it's not a relaxed environment as people may think. Yeah, you're all friends and whatnot, but at the end of the day, it's quite cutthroat. So when we're on the green, yeah, you might be one of my best mates, but I'm still coming to get you, kind of thing. So, and it can get quite fiery. Like it has. I've had a couple of incidences. I won't mention names, but you know, where a couple of people have gone nose to nose because someone got a little out of joint. So
yeah, wow.
So it does get a bit fiery, but I will say it's all left on the green. So once we leave the green, we get into the clubhouse. You know, everyone carries on like kind of like nothing happened. But once the boys and the girls get on the green, it's quite cutthroat.
So do you set up practice matches against each other, or is it just like you go out and have drills and try to get the best scores? Like what do you actually like when you go into a camp and it's just Australia? What are you up to?
Yeah, so without obviously, you know, the coaches will be listening into this, so I won't give too much. I could give too much away, but I think when I first got in, there was a little bit of drills, but not a hell of a lot. I think it was just about throwing as many bowls down as possible. So whether that's just a normal practice, you know, before a test series against another country or a Trans-Tasman or you know, Asia Pacific camps or whatever. Back then it was a little bit of drills, but mostly it's about match play because you can't beat match play practice.
No, exactly, yeah.
And basically it could be just as relaxed as, you know, just having a roller. I think it depends on, you know, how the team's travelling as well, like in terms of form. Like if there's a couple of players struggling, you know, the rest of the team might be inside, while a couple might just stay out there to find a bit more groove. I'm not going to embarrass him, but Barry Lester was definitely like that. Like he would always do a little bit extra than everybody else, and that was just Barry though. Like that, he just liked to do the extras.
Yeah, cool. Right, 100+ caps for the Jackaroos. Is there any particular moment, mate, that stands out as your top memory in the green and gold?
Yeah, it does. Asia Pacific Fours final against New Zealand, leading for someone who I looked up to a lot in the Jackaroo squad back then was Mark Casey. I had probably the worst game I think I have ever played in my lifetime at Burnside on that back green, but the boys were super, super supportive. And yeah, I only remember it because it was the worst game ever, but the best time at the same time because I was leading for Mark Casey. So it was just one of them matches. But yeah, I had a dead set shocker, but I was still having fun doing it.
Yeah, nice. Cool. Still playing for your country, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Plenty of people would have wanted to be where you were. So.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good. Mate, you've got a few Aussie Open titles as well, but you've just had a win there in the Aussie Indoor Singles, which qualified you for the World Championships.
Yep.
Mate, how soon after that did it sink into you that you're going to get to wear the green and gold again and actually play at a World Indoors? It wasn't just that title, that was it. You're now going to represent Australia again at a World Indoors.
Well, I remember winning the title up at Tweed Heads back last August, and I didn't realise until Barry Lester said something in the post-match interview. I wasn't aware that. I actually knew I knew in the past because I've obviously seen you know the indoor winners, but that's something that I wasn't thinking about. And until Barry Lester mentioned it into the interview, I realised I was going over to Guernsey.
Yeah. So it's purely focused on I'm going to win that title, And now you've got that little cherry on the top now where you get to go and play for a world title.
100%. It was nice to hear, and it was a nice surprise.
Yeah, nice. So buzzing after that.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, good. I haven't spoke to you about this, but Simon has sort of mentioned on the podcast with me, apparently it was a bit of a mission for you to actually get to Guernsey, and that's not an easy place to get to as it is, mate.
100%. It was like nearly 40 hours to get there.
Mate.
Yeah, we ran into Dubai, and apparently they had a bit of a freak storm a couple of days beforehand, and they were trying to catch up on flights. But the worst part was there was 15,000, 20,000 people all in the airport they were all trying to get answers because we had no direction, no answers. We couldn't get back to Leah, who works at Bowls Australia, back at home. So we're all kind of a little bit in limbo. But the layover was I think it was like 8.5 hours, and it just felt like forever.
You know, visa, you can't just go out and explore. And obviously, that freak storm too is probably flooded all around.
But I tell you what, if it wasn't for Sam Atkinson, we probably would have been 4 or 5 hours, still down the track because we finally got to the gate, which we've been sitting at for 5, 6, 7 hours. Anyway, they opened it up for maybe 5 minutes, and the girl behind the counter said, "Oh, we've only got three seats left." Well, anyway, Sam just ran from the other side of the room and just thrown our passports to the chick behind the counter. And lucky enough, it was the only 3 that she caught, and we ended up on that next flight, and we left probably 40 minutes after the passports were thrown.
Oh, mate, what a mission!
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 40 hours.
Have you been to the UK before? Or was that your first trip?
Yeah, no, I've been to London and been to Potters. A couple of times, but But 40 hours though, bro. That's a bloody long time.
Man, you're telling me. We've had to do that trip a couple of times. That's like, unless I say Guernsey, it's only just a tiny little speck of an island in the ocean. Like
100%.
You can't just, like I was saying at the time, you're not getting an A380 into there.
No,
it's the size of the island. So
nose to tail would cover the whole island.
Yeah. Well, so the big one, mate. Then you get there. The goal is to come home with a world title. You've had a bit of a mishap trying to get there, but you managed to do it in the mixed pairs with Sam. So talk us through the emotions there, mate, especially that brutal 1-end tiebreak that you had to play in that format.
Yeah, look, we both got beat in the singles against Malaysians, and I was very, very happy with the way I was playing through the singles and the pairs, and even the first set against the Malaysian, things were going very good. Just for some reason, the second set, I completely lost my way, had no feeling, and blah, 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 blah. But, yeah, the best thing that we could have done was JR, the coach, Ian Ewing from Victoria. He was awesome, trying just regrouping us back to, we went back to a restaurant after we both got beaten in singles. And he didn't really say too much, but he just knew to get us out of the bowls club, just get away from it. We had a couple of beers, and he was trying to be a jokester and just, create a bit of a lighter atmosphere, and it worked a treat. We end up bouncing back, and we combined very well to go through and win it.
He's had a bit of an Anzac ceremony over there too. Did I see that? What was that like?
That was very random. It was only the fact that JR was reading the local paper, and he caught that Guernsey were going to do an Anzac ceremony the next day or the couple of days after. Yeah, so we went down to Port George, I think it was. Yeah, and then there was probably 70 or 80 people down at the ceremony, and ran into a couple of other Aussies and just started having conversations after the ceremony, and we met it wasn't the Prime Minister, but it was it wasn't too far down underneath that. But yeah, no, it was good to pay our respects while we're so far away from home.
Yeah, and especially just not being planned, just to be completely random.
Exactly. And we tried to get the Kiwis to come with us, but they were scheduled to play that morning. Which was a bit unfortunate, but we caught up later in the day, took a couple of photos and whatnot. Yeah, but it was nice to pay the respects while we're so far away.
Yeah, nice, mate. And then no rest for the wicked. You're back on that plane, 30-odd hours to get back this time, was it?
Yeah, 32. Yeah.
It's 32 hours, and straight into the champion pairs with Cal. Jet lag didn't get you too much, mate. You made the final. It's a big ask and a credit to you for being able to back up like that. I mean, there's a big mental element to that as well, like being so tired and having to back up to do that. And what got you up for it, mate? And did the body hold up all right after the travel, or was it a battle?
No. I'll be honest. the first day, I had to sleep in the car between games because I was wrecked. It felt like I had 20 schooners. I can't explain it. Like it was, the body wasn't too bad, but the head was all over the place. But I was looking forward to it because of Kyle Hansen. Like he's one hell of a talent, and he's one very, very good human being. So, and he deserves all the success that he gets in the future because he's one hell of a kid. So I was basically trying to win it for him, and to go that far and to fall over because I knew Kyle. That's his sixth New South Wales final that he's lost. So
6.
I'm pretty sure it's 6 in total. That's including 2 state pennant finals.
Yeah, right. I've only just realised I was asked the question because we talked about this before we came on to record.
Yeah.
And I forgot about the triples game this year too.
Yeah,
that was both by a shot.
100%. 100%. So, 6. So, look, I keep trying to convince the kid that he's, if he keeps getting there, look, he's going to crack it. And usually...
Yeah, man, you just got to keep putting yourself in those positions, like you say, and, never know once the first one comes.
Hopefully the floodgates open.
Yeah, it could be. Speaking of...
He's going good enough. He's going good enough, though, to do that.
Yeah, nice. Well, speaking of those state titles, mate, back to yourself. 4 state titles, tied with the 4 state singles titles, tied with the legendary Bob King. I had a quick look. Bob did his over an 18-year period. So he did his 4 titles. You've done yours between 2010 and 2018, so there's still plenty of time to break that record. What do you reckon?
Yeah, look, it would be nice. But to be fair, look, the older I'm getting, the more I'm, battling with the singles side of things. So, but look, if it happens, it happens, mate. I'll keep having a crack at it, and whatever that final number ends up being, I'll take it. Yeah,
nice. Not being too greedy then.
Oh, look, it's. While the fire's in the belly, whatever that number ends up, that it ends up.
Yeah. So 2018, mate, was a pretty special year for you. You've done the singles double, champion singles and the state singles in the same year. So how was your mindset through that year? Was that a target throughout the year? Did you really concentrate on this is what I'm going to do, or you just basically took it as it came?
I just took it as it came. To be honest, it was. To be fair, one of the goals was to get to the world champion of champions. And I think the following year, I won the Australian Champion of Champions singles, but then COVID hit. So long story short, Australia had too many winners to send to the World Champion and Champion. I was on the bottom of the ladder, and I was told that I couldn't have a crack at it. I remember Dawn. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was in Perth. Yeah, we played at South Perth. Dawn Heyman won the ladies one, but Dawn was lucky enough to back it up and to qualify for the next one. So, but yeah, that one hurt because obviously that was another chance to, earn your way to a world title rather than being selected.
Jeez, man, I didn't know that. That's, oof.
No, look, it is what it is. It is what it is now, right?
It's brutal. It just shows you the brutal nature of it all. But COVID really affected things, eh?
Yeah, 100%. Look, and I remember, Steve Blasson at the time. He was the head coach back at the time, and he wasn't real happy with it either. And he done all that he could to, to try and send. I think it was 2 or 3 of us to the World Champions. But look, yeah, it is what it is now, mate.
Brutal. All right, man, on to the future then. So what now for Ray Pearse? You're a world champion, Australian champion, 9 times New South Wales champion. What goals have you still got left to achieve in this game in the near future? What do you want to see happening?
3 main goals moving forward is to win the Australian Indoor again in August this year, so I can have another crack at the World Indoor Singles title, especially when it comes back home. 2 is to win a platinum or a number 1 pennant for Taren Point. And I've just forgotten the 3rd one, so those 2 will do you, DJ.
That'll do, mate, that'll do. We've done well so far. Good on you, mate. Okay, so outside of the game, mate, obviously your on the green moments are pretty precious and they'll always be with you, but you've achieved a fair bit off the green with the charity Gotcha for Life. Do you want to give us a bit about that and what do they do as an organisation?
Yeah, well, coming out of COVID, or even through the mist of COVID, me and my best mate Benny McCall decided that we would ride 1,000 kilometres on a bicycle up from Sydney to the Gold Coast, just to raise a bit more of awareness about mental health. And Gotcha for Life, somehow it might have been, we seen it on the Roosters jersey, or so anyway,
Good jersey that.
Yeah,
Good jersey that.
we got in touch. We got in touch with Gus Wallen, who's also a big sponsor of the Roosters for Gotcha for Life. And, we ended up raising $55,000 to $60,000 over that bicycle trip. It was the best trip ever. By the time we got to Tweed Heads, we hurt a lot, but the bowls community up the whole way was awesome. We stopped into a lot of little clubs along the way, and everybody knew what was happening when we walked into the club. And
awesome.
Yeah, to raise that kind of money just through the bowls fraternity was very good. And Benny and I solved the world's problems. Riding up the Pacific Highway together over 7 days, riding, I think it was roughly about 160 to 190 k's a day on a bicycle.
How does that conversation come up during COVID? Let's get on a bike and ride 1,000 k's.
Well, there was a few. Like, we were going to do like mountain hikes or go to. It was just there was some really silly ideas, and I said to Ben, "How about we just get on a bike and we'll just get on a bike and ride to the Gold Coast?" And it just got some traction. Excuse the pun, but it got some traction. It got some traction, and it was one of the best things I've ever done. It got me so fit coming out of COVID, or the end part of COVID. It was very, very good.
Yeah, nice, mate. Nice. So, any tough mornings on that? But was it hard some mornings to get up and get going again?
Yes, 100%. Well, we were lucky enough to bring a physio to give us a bit of a rub down. Yeah, in the evening and early morning, and that helped a lot. But I remember the last day we were about 40 or 50 k's out. I won't go into too much detail, but I was bleeding. All right, your own mind can go wherever you like there. But we had to pop into Ocean Shores pub just to sink a couple of schooners just to numb the pain, because we were smashing too many Voltarens already. So. But we had to smash a couple of beers just to numb the pain for the last 30 or 40 k's. It was brilliant.
I take it you didn't cycle back.
We did not cycle back. The bike was on top of the car, and I slept the whole way back.
Awesome. I mean, that's a fair amount of money was raised for that. So all credit to you, isn't it? And now, something definitely to be proud of. Great thing to look back on, especially for you and Ben in years to come. And now you've got that Gotcha for Life Cup that's played between Taren Point and St John's every year, mate. How did that one come about?
Yeah, Anthony Coddy, the bowls manager, was out there, and I remember the inaugural year. We played out at St John's Park, and St John's Park have done an enormous job to carry on with that, and to raise further funds between the two clubs. But Anthony Coddy reached out to me and said, would Taren Point like to be a part of it? And this is, I think it's run for 2 years now. So again, Gotcha for Life do very good things for mental health, and St John's Park do very good things for lawn bowls. And it was a partnership that was, we couldn't say no, really. So
yeah, nice. Go ahead.
No, we're just going to say, and we've raised some more funds for for a cause that does a lot of good things for people in need.
Yeah, man, like, you deserve a lot of credit for that kind of stuff. I mean, making a difference, especially on a topic that's getting a lot more mainstream media every day. It's just building day by day type of thing, and everyone's becoming a lot more aware of mental health, and they're starting to take those steps to look after themselves that they maybe wouldn't have done in the past. And so, congratulations, man, on being a part of that. And just before we do wrap up, do you want to have you got any advice or anything for anyone that's maybe needing that little bit of a push to go in the right direction and make that first step to get themselves right?
Yeah, well, look, it's I think it's just about just listening.
Mm.
Listening to people. The hardest thing for someone that's in that kind of trouble is actually speaking about their troubles, right?
Yeah.
But you just listening to people just may save someone's life, and it might not be, "Hey DJ, I need to have a chat." It could be us just having a beer at a table down at City Bowls Club, right? Yeah. And you could just be waffling. But if I'm listening, I might be able to catch something. So
yeah, just maybe pick up that little red flag type of thing.
Don't try and drill it out of people. Just give yourself, give others some time and just listen, because you may save someone's life and you might not even know about it.
Yeah, no, it's good, man. No, definitely a lot of credit for that type of stuff. Right, mate. So just before we wrap up, I'll hit you with some, we call it quick fire questions, but take as long as you want, obviously. Some of the bowlers around the traps will want to hear these types of things. So the basic, mate, the make, model, and size of bowl that you currently use.
The best manufacturer in the world, Aero Bowls, Aero Optima, size 3.5.
Aero Optima, no worries. You like the wider ones too at times, don't you?
Yeah, I do actually. I've got the Quantums and I've got a set of Revolutions, and I've just ordered a new set for the Australian Open actually with the enhanced grip, which I'm really looking forward to using through the AO.
Very good. Best greens you've ever played on?
Cabramatta, by far. Look, Taren Point. Back in the day, Taren Point were level, but yeah, I think Cabramatta's got, especially these days, got the best greens. If not that, Grandview's have got the very good greens as well. And between those three clubs, they're all hard to beat.
I'm going to elaborate on this a bit more. So me and Simon just did a podcast last week, and we compared what it's like in the UK and home, right? So you've had that experience.
I listened to that. Yes,
just tell people. Go on, go for it. What's the compare Australian greens to UK greens?
The best way I could describe it is, over in the UK, it's just a shove. That's all it is. It's a throw. It's a shove. And sometimes you feel like a Happy Gilmore, where you're just launching up to the mat to get the bowl up the other end. But obviously, in Australia, they're obviously a lot harder, a lot shorter. And, the game here is about touch. Over there, it's a completely different game plan, and you've got to try and execute in a different way as well. Just constantly sitting bowls through the head rather than trying to outdraw the bowl. You'd rather try and sit it out rather than trying to outdraw it. Yeah,
you pull up short. Which is why we've all got that run off the mat delivery from up Northern Hemisphere, so we do.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Mate, favourite player to play with?
Favourite player to play with? Well, that is a toughie. I'll say Mark Casey. I just love the way he goes about his business, and he's a super supportive fella. So I'll say Mark Casey.
Very good. Player that you hate to face for whatever reason, whether because they're always hard to play against or you just don't like him. Oh, well, I'll take it because he's hard to play against. Yeah.
No, exactly. Aaron Sheriff, he just never gets off your back while you're playing. He's just super consistent. He's just lethal, and he's relentless. This is probably the perfect word to put to what it is, relentless.
Yeah. Favorite club that you've been at? Not necessarily just you as a member, but clubs that you've been and visited and stuff. What's one of the nicest or the best clubs you've been to?
Clubhouse wise, I think St John's Park is just it's just crazy. It is it is a different level, mate. And I remember listening to your last podcast about some of your clubs back at home, and it's just basically a shed and a bit of a toilet, and but yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy the contrast between the two countries, and it's crazy.
Yeah, so as you said, we talked about that last time, and I used Albion Park. That was the first club I loved at when I came to Australia, and I used that as the example. And we were telling the guys in the clubhouse, this is a massive club. You just don't understand. And they've gone, no, you don't understand. And they took us on a trip around and they showed us some of the clubs, mate. And they took us to, we started actually at Taren Point. And the connection there was because Premier League was still being played back then. And Jeremy and Ian both came out and played there. So we went and visited Taren Point. And yeah, it's not a massive club in the scheme of things in Australia, but that's still big compared to what we're used to.
100%.
But mate, then they take us to St John's Park. And you drive in, and there's a 3-story car park in a bowling club.
Yeah.
What is going on? Well, obviously, there's reasons behind it, but it is phenomenal.
And it gets bigger and bigger every year.
It's insane. I've never gone into that club and looked at the same place twice. It just moves all the time. But then they followed that up. They took us over to Penrith Leagues Club. Now, back in 2009, that was wow. What is this thing?
That club is breathtaking. That's even bigger. That's a lot bigger than St John's Park too. But St John's Park built their powerhouse. which is their like little section for bowls, right?
Yeah.
The Powerhouse Club is bigger than most suburban bowls clubs, in Sydney. It's absolutely nuts.
Yeah. It's insane. Like, just the difference out here. Sort of still staying on that topic, but what was your favourite country that you visited with the Jackaroos?
Probably New Zealand.
Yeah.
Only because going to England, it was bloody freezing. It was, it wasn't the best experience. But I've been to Auckland, Christchurch. Those two places. Look, Wellington was very, very cold and windy too. But it's a very scenic country for mine. Where especially the places that we visited over there. So I'd probably say New Zealand.
Yeah, nice, man. Okay, best friend off the green.
Ben McCall. Good old Toyka. I won't get into the Toyka business, but Benny McCall, he's one of the most genuine humans you'll ever meet in your life, and he'll do anything for you. And I'm grateful to have a mate like him.
Very good. Any other hobbies off the green?
I used to love playing poker online, quite a bit. I used to love enjoying that. But I just love my footy. If it's not bowls, it's footy. And it doesn't matter what game it is. Obviously, I like South Sydney Rabbitohs, but I could be watching any game of football, and if I don't like something, I'm writing every call. I just love me footy. Especially every team that beats the Roosters too, just quietly.
You've just answered my next one, which is favourite footy team and coach. So obviously rugby league and South.
Yeah, rugby league and South. I'm absolutely chuffed that we've just signed Wayne Bennett back to try and get a bit of mongrel and.
Did you play any other sports when you were younger, mate? And what level did you play those to?
Yeah, rugby league. Brought up, mum, grandparents, great aunties. Rugby league, mate. They got me when I was I started when I was about 4. Played right through until I was 14 or 15. But they're just getting too big, mate. There's some big boppers out there when I was a young fella, and I just couldn't do it. My brother carried on a little bit. He was also a very good footballer too, and just love me rugby league.
Hopefully, he got the height in the family, did he?
He actually did get a little bit more height than me, to be honest with you. Like my mother's only 5 foot, but he probably got to 5'10".
Good on you. All right, mate. Favorite food?
Chicken schnitzel. You can't beat it.
Chicken schnitzel.
You can't beat it.
Favorite drink?
Great Northern.
Favorite holiday location?
Oh, I will say Cairns. I love Cairns.
Nice.
We're up there last year. Actually, it was I love going to Cairns. It's really enjoyable.
My first experience with Cairns was going in early December, and there was only one room left in a hostel in the whole place, and the ceiling fan was broken.
Oh,
to the extent it was stuck on winter mode, so it's blowing the hot air down. Mate, I would have lost 3 kilograms that night sleeping. Honestly, we lasted one night and off we went.
Oh yeah, that would have been rough. Yeah. That was rough.
Yeah, it was back. It would have been early December, mate. It was just like the beaches and all that had closed because jellyfish season and stuff like that. There, mate, this is a mad culture shock of people coming from my part of the world. But yeah, oh man, just when you said that, I'm having flashbacks. I'm starting to sweat now.
You started to sweat, yeah.
Oh dear, mate. If you weren't playing bowls, what would you be doing?
I would love to be an NRL coach.
Yeah.
I would love to be an NRL coach. I've got no idea how I'd go, but I do enough coaching while I watch every game from the lounge, and I've given But I think being an NRL coach would be pretty cool.
Yeah, nice. Okay, we're back to bowls then. If you can change one rule in the game, or if you could do something to fix the game, which we talked about on podcast as well, what would it be?
I would love to see a professional tour within this country and have different levels to that. So there are proper pathways, not so much selection pathways, because that's very difficult. It's very cutthroat. I think if we had a professional tour where you earn yourself to be on the professional tour, that's when the selection thing comes on. So I think we have that in a sense, but it's segregated between 16 regions, and every state is a little bit different, which I've heard you and Simon talk about in previous podcasts. But I think if we had a professional tour that went from grassroots all the way to the professional level, I think it would be unreal.
Yeah, nice. That's a good one. That is a good one. Okay, advice for all the bowlers out there, mate, aspiring to be the next Ray Pearse.
Don't be like me, just be like you. That's the only advice I probably got for people is don't listen to too many people.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest one is, everyone's got advice, but don't. Just grab someone that you trust and just go with that. And every now and then, try and get a second opinion or whatever, but just don't listen to too many people when you first start out because it will send you crazy.
Right, mate. Finally, the big one. Rate the What a Load of Bowls podcast out of 10.
I think I'll be brutally honest. I think it's to be a 7 right now, but I can easily see you guys getting to a 10. I think you boys are killing
That's harsh because number 1's the best and 10's the worst.
Oh, was that 10, 1 to 10?
Nah.
Was it? On a serious,
old fletch and handy gag for you there, right?
On a serious level, the bowls kind of needs this kind of thing, and I think you guys are obviously learning your craft, right? So I think this is only going to get better, and you've already built a community already. So congratulations to you boys for already doing that.
I appreciate that, mate. And mate, honestly, thank you so much. It's taken us a couple of false starts to get this, but thank you so much for giving your time up. Mate, it's been a good chat. I mean, we've had a few chats off the grid and stuff. It's good to actually get it out this year. I've learned a bit more about you, which has been good. So, mate, hopefully the listeners get something out of this too. And hopefully we can build on this and get a few more guys to be brave enough to come on here and do some questions.
No, 100%. Well, thanks for the invite. No, happy to have a chat with you. Again, we've spoken every time we pass through the bowl scene, but it's nice to sit down and have a chat to you.
Nah, good on you, Ray. Thanks very much, mate. And yeah, folks, hopefully you like that. Feel free to comment on anything that you've heard from in here. If there's anything else you want to ask Ray, maybe we can get him on for a second go. But yeah, by all means, mate, thank you. That was enjoyable.
Nah, you're welcome. Enjoy the bowls.
Thanks, mate.
Well, mate, that's your first time hearing that back. What do you think of that one?
That was a really good interview, DJ. That was some good insights into one of the formidable players over here in Australia, Ray Pearse. Many caps for Australia, New South Wales. He's been to a few World Bowls event recently, and yeah, it was good to see or listen. To his mindset on the green, some of his personal interests off the green, and yeah, it was nice to hear his thoughts on bowls and some ideas.
It was a lot of fun too. Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, it was a lot of fun. Like, me and Ray have spoke a lot over the years, but to actually sit down, I mean, I don't know how it was. It was about 40 minutes of a podcast part, but like we sat there for about an hour and a half just talking about all things outside bowls. Yep. Some stuff to include, some stuff not to include. So it was good fun. Definitely hearing where Ray's come from and how he's got to where he is now, mate. It was nice and getting a bit of understanding on what sort of makes him tick. So yeah, definitely a lot of fun. Hopefully everyone out there, you've all enjoyed those questions. If you think of anything else you'd like to ask these types of players, I mean, there's 2 others out there. They know who they are. They've got their questions ready to go if they want to jump on here and brave me and Simon for an interview. But yeah, hopefully we get a few more like that. And the people out there, if there's anything you just want to hear us ask to these types of players that you'd like to know, just send it our way. And I'm really, really interested to hear the feedback on this one, mate.
Yeah, should be good. So yeah, we've got a few more players lined up, and as DJ says, get in touch with us, and anything specific you want to hear from players that are playing at the top level of our sport, we'll field those questions, whether they're easy or difficult questions. You won't shy away from the difficult questions, DJ. So yeah, looking forward to forthcoming interviews.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was definitely a lot of fun. Hopefully there's a few more to come. Right, mate. So last week you launched your little like and share promo for that much sought after Bowls Academy Bowls cloth. I believe you got a few people who've liked and shared around the place. So you got them all in the hat there, mate. We're going to draw it out.
Yeah, we did. So our lucky winner of a Bowls Academy Bowls cloth was Travis Preston. So well done, Travis. We'll get in touch and get an address off you, and we'll post that off to you pretty quick, so you can have that Bowls cloth and show it around your club, and yeah, get spreading the word about the Bowls Academy and
send us
our
a picture
podcast
of you with
as well.
it at the club.
Yeah, yes, that's it. Yeah, send us a
That's
picture,
it, man,
drop us.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Get that flyer up around the club every Thursday, 8 a.m. when we can anyway, unless we have a busy week like we did this week. So hopefully it gets out by 8 a.m. But hopefully everyone's enjoyed that again this week. Something different.
Very good, DJ. Glad you managed to get that interview done with Ray. And yeah, looking forward to next week's podcast and what hot topics and insights we bring.
Definitely, man. I want to, now that Platinum Pennant and everything's wrapped up, I want to dive into that. I sat and watched that game. Phenomenal game, and I really want to dive into that if we can. Queensland State Championship will be finished by then too. We'll look at who the winners are for that, and anything else that's happening around the greens, we'll have a bit of a look, mate. Last week's podcast got a lot of traction, mate. I don't know what you've heard, but there's a lot of people were very interested in what we had to say about our past glories back in Northern Ireland and that. So it's good to hear. Good to see that. I mean, that was a bit of a look, bit of an insight into what we've been through, and it was good to see that positive feedback from people. So, yeah, man, hopefully we can keep all this going. It's been a lot of fun. So, but yeah, next week, I really want to look at Platinum Pennant next week, man. It was a fantastic game, and I don't think I can undersell it, to be honest. But yeah, that's one thing I want to talk about next week. So, hopefully you've all enjoyed that one, folks. Bit of a different tack, like we said. Thanks again to Ray Pearse for giving up his time to actually talk us through everything and sit down and have that interview. And as always, keep the little disc on the inside. We'll see you next week.
See you, folks. Good luck on the greens.